When I was probably listening to music since I was 10, 11 years old. I started out with, blues and all that stuff. When I was a little kid, all my heroes were 60 years old. They were all the old blues guys, Muddy Waters. I saw Muddy Waters a lot of times when I was a kid.
I'm sort of older than them, and my experiences were strictly really with radio.
Well, the radio was a big influence on all of us. Top 40 radio in the U.S. When we were adolescent. Played everything from the Beatles to Frank Sinatra to the Rolling Stones. And that really is what influenced the band. And we were never afraid of being commercial and being mass accepted.
I'll get you one way or another. I'm gonna see ya. I'll meet you one way or another. I'm gonna see ya. I'll meet you, yeah. I will drive past your house, and if the lights are out, I'll see who's around. Meet you one way or another. I'm gonna see ya. I'll meet you here. And yeah, the lights are all out. I'll follow your ass downtown. See who's hanging. Ow! Oh! Walk down the mall, stand over by the wall where I can see it all. Find out who you call. Lead you to the supermarket, check out suspicious and breakfast. One way or another. That's how it's done. One way or another. And I know you've had some experience. One way or another. Gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you. I'll follow your ass downtown. I'll see you cycling around. I know where you live, I know where you work, I know where you park your car, I know your cell phone number, I know your home phone number, I know your work number, I know your mother's phone number, I know your Facebook password. Come on, wait, baby! Come on, wait, baby! Come on, wait, baby! Gonna get ya, gonna get ya, gonna get ya.
Story.
We all met in New York City. There were a lot of young bands starting up, and it was sort of a small group of musicians that just sort of evolved and were playing around.
It was a big art scene. It was more than just the music scene. The art scene was very, vital at the time in the early 70s. And I met Debbie in 1973, so it's 40 years ago, September.
It's the tail end of glam rock, really.
Yeah.
And there was kind of a lull in the New York scene from sort of the New York Dolls, Wayne County.
Yeah, the Dolls was kind of, I would say they were a transition between the glam and the punk scene. You know, they were kind of in the middle. Well, that, you know, we played, us two, we started off with a girl trio with two other girls, and that split up. Then we started working with Debbie solo, and we had different musicians, and then finally we put, I guess we were calling ourselves Blondie before Clam a little bit, and then we put an ad in the Village Voice and for a drummer, and he was the last one out of 50 people to show up, really. And he was the only one that really knew what our roots were and what, you know, where we were coming from, and he'd even seen us play a couple of times.
Yeah, there was a club in New York, the Club 82, that I had a band that would play there, and they had a band called the Stilettos. They would play there, and it was kind of like the spawning ground of what became the sort of New York underground scene. And that's kind of how we kind of all knew about, I knew about these two, and we had a lot of common ground as far as our musical influences early on, like the Ronettes or the Velvet Underground, or
garage rock,
you know,
stuff,
Nina
you know.
Rhoda, people like that,
Yeah.
garage rock. So there was a common ground musically.
Junior disturbance on the doorway. We are
think everybody always asks us that, and you know, what do you think? Did you think 30 years from now you'd still be playing? And we get the same question all the time, and I think everybody was very much in the moment then, and was just, you know, doing what we were doing day by day. I don't think there was much planning and looking into the future went on.
Yeah, I think that anybody who plays in a band always dreams or imagines themselves in a very elevated position of, you know, like stardom and fame and success. I mean, that's why, you know, all of us sort of, you know, have this big dream, you know.
CBGB was kind of a very insular scene. It was kind of an entity unto itself. It wasn't really mass exposure. You know, it was like just playing in that club and a couple other little clubs around the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And, you know, the people that knew about it were the people that kind of like were also participating in it. It wasn't very much like mass appeal or anything like that.
There was no internet.
It's underground.
You know, the days before the internet, life was very different. You know, something like that could go on for 4 or 5 years, nobody knew about it. Now, as soon as something happens, a month later, everybody in the world knows about it if it's, you know, a certain quality of thing, you know.
And we were kind of working in a vacuum, and, you know, we were appreciated, and we were kind of, you know, trading off influences with the other bands that were around and kind of like expanding our concept of what the band was going to be about and getting new members in and things like that. So, I mean, by the time we made the first album, things were kind of happening a little bit.
Like the first fan letter I ever got was from somebody from another band, you know.
I'm in the phone booth, it's the one across the hall. If you don't answer, I'll just ring it off the wall. I know he's there, but I just have to call. Don't leave me hanging on the telephone. Don't leave me hanging on the telephone, no. I told your mother, now she's going out the door. Did she go to work or just go to the store? All those things she said I've chosen to ignore. Oh, why can't we talk again? Oh, why can't we fuck again? Oh, why can't we talk again? Don't leave me hanging on the telephone. Leave me hanging on the telephone. No. It's good to hear your voice, you know it's been so long. If I don't get your call, then everything goes wrong. I wanna tell you something you've known all along. Don't leave me hanging on the telephone, no. I had to interrupt and stop this conversation. Your voice across the line gives me a strange sensation. I like to talk when I can show you my affection. Ooh, I can't control myself. No, I can't control myself. Ooh, I can't control myself. Don't leave me hanging on the telephone, no. Hang up and run to me. Hang up and run to me. Hang up and run to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. One night to just the same. Wherever you go, all over the world, a rose by any name. If you're a boy or if you're a girl, I love you just the same. Wherever you go, all over the world, a rose by any name. If you're a boy or if you're a girl, I love you just the same. Wherever you go, all over the world, a rose by any name. If you're a boy or if you're a girl, I love you just the same. Wherever you go, all over the world, a rose by any name. A rose by any name. A rose by any name. A rose by any name.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were always, in contact somewhat. I mean, Debbie and me were always
Thank you.
in touch with each other. So we talked to Clem a little bit, but everybody's kind of went their own ways for a while. But, having a hit song when we came back was very gratifying, It was nice. It felt good.
I kind of always thought it would happen in a way.
Yeah, me too. In the back of my head, it just seemed like
we all went out and did a lot of other things. I played with Eurythmics for 10 years after the split of the band, and I kind of always thought maybe perhaps someday we would reunite. We're together longer now, the three of us, than the first time around. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lee, the bass player, has been with us for 20 years. I mean, what was the first time? It was like eight years, whatever.
Well, none of us ever stopped doing music. I mean, I think that that's all we are, really, is we do music. And, because I had solo albums through that whole period, and of course Chris wrote much of that material and also played on it. So, we're dedicated to our life in music.
It's very nice to be here on SesioneS. SesioneS. So I think the next song I'm going to do for you is a song that Chris worked on with a Colombian group called Sistema Solar. It's called Sugar on the Side.
Entrando en la conexión sur-norte, un encuentro solar sónico desde la zona estelar verbenótica. Blondie, el sistema solar en la jugada.
I left a note on the mirror, took the key to the brand new car. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. It couldn't be any clearer, it already went too far. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. Don't need your sympathy, I know you're not over me. When the lyrics are on the side, I'll be fine. I'd kill to see when your eyes get a hold of me. With a little sugar on the side, I'll be fine. You whisper words in the darkness, turned everything upside down. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. You lied all about, I figured it out, when you went and left it on your phone. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. Don't need your sympathy, I know you're not over me. With a little sugar on the side, I'll be fine. I'd kill to see when your eyes get a hold of me. With a little sugar on the side, I'll be fine.
Yo no tengo más nada que decirte. Este cuento nadie tiene, ya tú viste.
Yo no te llamo más.
Que te va a comer la cosa.
brand new car. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. You whisper words in the darkness, turn everything upside down. So don't get mad at me, cause you know you treat me wrong. Don't need your sympathy, I know you're not over me, over me. With a little sugar on the side, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. I'd kill to see when your eyes are holding me, holding me. With a little sugar on the side, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. Mami, así. Que te vea. Y si quieres estar conmigo, mami. Y si quieres solo amigo, así. Si me tiras al olvido, voy suerte y que te vaya bien. Y si quieres estar conmigo, mami. Y si quieres solo amigo, así. Si me tiras al olvido, voy suerte y que te vaya bien.
Was it, even more than that, we had a reunion where we played for the first time. Was it in L.A.? I think it was in L.A.
Yeah,
when we
some
got together
TV
and played
thing.
for the first time, and it was a rehearsal, and it was a very nice feeling to hear the sound of us playing together, you know, and it was very clear to me that, oh, yes, that is the Blondie sound, you know, and that was.
Who wrote Gatsby is written by.
The Great Gatsby.
Wrote Gatsby.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald. So Fitzgerald always says, he has a quote, "There are no second acts in American life." So I was always glad to prove him wrong with that.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to, with Maria, for instance, and the album No Exit, it was important for us to make new music once we did reunite. So we never thought of it as just going back and playing the catalog, you know, the hits. We wanted to continue as artists and make new music. So that's kind of was the impetus for really, once we got back together, that was, I'd say, challenge, or that was the main idea.
No, that was my stipulation to Chris. I did not want to put the band back together just to do old music. I was not interested in that, and that was basic to the idea of getting back together, was to be creative and to express ourselves in today's world and as we are today as people, and not just be standing in the past. It'd be horrible.
We are a seminal band, we are an influential band, and I think we realize that, but and we are an international band, which really gives you some sort of inkling into like how people perceive us, because we're not just an American band, and when we first started, people thought we were from
UK,
England or from Europe, but being from New York City, there's a major European influence in all of us anyway, but I know what you're saying about what are we aware of? Well, we're aware that we're here today.
We're a little close to it. It's hard to be objective.
And sometimes it's good if we go play in somewhere like in Arkansas or something, and people still think we're kind of weird and don't really get it. So
Well,
that's kind of fun.
I don't know. It's too much introspection, and it can be distracting.
My friends tell me I should try it between earth and sky. Oh, I know that I would like to do the mile high. Oh, 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 oh. When you discover earth and sky, between earth and sky, mile high, you and I, between earth and sky, between earth and sky, mile high, you and I, between earth and sky, between earth and sky, mile high, you and I, between earth and sky, earth and sky. I'm up and coming, I'm in the club, I'm up and coming, I'm in the club. I'm up and coming, I'm in the club. I'm up and coming, I'm in the club. Oh, 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 oh. When you discover what comes between the lower level and the jet stream. When you discover what comes between the lower level and the jet stream. My friends tell me I should try it between earth and sky. Oh, I know that I would like to do the mile high above the earth for all your work, above the earth for all your work.
The tone of the picture and the colors in the picture were it was also the birth of Armani, the Armani
Yeah,
fashion
I didn't even know that
line.
he said that. Yeah.
And all of those muted, beautiful colors was all very Armani.
Kind of monochromatic
Yeah,
stuff.
and it was so beautiful, and that really was what made Armani a part of the world.
And also that song, you know, I remember when we got the call about doing it, I remember Debbie, you know, trying to get the lyrics together, and it was called something else before Call Me.
Man Machine. Somewhere it was Man Machine. When Giorgio sent us a tape with him singing it, and
Right.
the lyrics were kind of stupid.
That sounds Kraftwerk or something.
It was, well, I think it may. I don't even know which was first, them or that. I don't know.
Yes.
What was first?
You know, the Kraftwerk.
Oh,
Man
Kraftwerk.
Machine. You know, they have.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
So,
But it was funny, that session, you know, we went in, from my point of view, we went in and recorded it in a day. I mean, I did my drum part, and we kind of were in the middle of a tour, and we went in and recorded, I remember at the end, and then we went back out on tour, and I remember getting off tour and getting into the car that picked me up at the airport to go home, and the radio came on, and the song came on. I'm like, that sounds familiar, and it was Call Me. You know, it was kind of like a really magical thing. I mean, it just kind of happened, and then it was released, and it was a big hit.
But Giorgio's, the original lyrics were very literal about, you know, the guy
Being a male prostitute.
Being a male prostitute, and Debbie's are more metaphoric and poetic.
Well,
so.
I had the opportunity to see a private screening of the movie
Okay.
at Paul's hotel room. And Paul Schrader had a, what was it, the St. Regis, I think.
know.
And we went upstairs, and you know there was a big TV, and you know, so I sat there and watched the whole movie, and went home, and started writing the song right away because it was very fresh with the images, and that it happened very easily and very quickly. So it was definitely about the colors, really.
for 20